The unique royal friendship between Elton John and Princess Diana. The unique royal friendship between Elton John and Princess Diana was celebrated for its genuine nature and the rare, authentic bond shared between two public figures. Their connection was built on mutual respect and deep affection, which endured even after her premature death. Now, after years of discretion, Elton is finally opening up about the saddest and most touching memories of his time with Princess Diana. The secrets of his relationships with King Charles and Queen Elizabeth will also be revealed. Join us in this video to explore every detail. Elton John and Princess Diana, a fateful connection with the royal family. Elton John is an English pianist, singer-songwriter, and composer best known for a career spanning over 5 decades with more than 300 million records sold worldwide. His career extends beyond music, including influential personal relationships with the British royal family, most notably with Princess Diana. John appeared to have a deep connection with the British royal family, not only through songs like Princess, The King Must Die, and Snow Queen, but also through his close interactions and lasting friendships with members of royalty. His relationship with the British royal family began in the 1970s when he was invited to dinner at Kensington Palace by Princess Margaret. Princess Margaret, a great lover of art and music, found common ground with Elton, then an emerging music star. John's connection with the royal family was not limited to polite encounters among nobles. He quickly became a favorite of the royals. As his status in British culture grew, his proximity to Windsor Castle made royal meetings more frequent. One memorable relationship was with Queen Elizabeth's mother, commonly referred to as the Queen Mother. She loved music, particularly Irish folk songs. During one meeting, she danced to an old Irish tune called Slattery's Mounted Foot, which surprised and amused John. He realized that, in intimate settings, members of royalty could be far more lively and open than the formal image the public usually sees. A special bond with Princess Diana. However, the most important royal connection for Elton John was with Princess Diana. Their special friendship began in 1981 during Prince Andrew's birthday party at Windsor Castle. Diana was just 20 years old and newly married to Prince Charles. The party was filled with celebrities and royalty, but Diana stood out from the crowd, drawing everyone's attention, including Elton's. Accustomed to elite circles, John was still struck by her natural charisma. Surprisingly, the atmosphere of the grand party was somewhat lighthearted, setting the stage for a memorable moment. Seeking a bit of freedom from royal protocol, Diana walked into the grand ballroom and spotted Elton. When the orchestra began playing the Charleston, Diana bravely approached him and asked him to dance. The scene seemed like something out of a movie. Two celebrities, usually separated by their high status, found themselves dancing together in the middle of the room. Their laughter echoed throughout the hall as they twirled together, momentarily forgetting their roles as pop star and princess and surrendering to the pure joy of the moment. Elton recalled how they talked all night, laughing and dancing as if they'd known each other forever. He described Diana as having a natural, warm way of communicating that instantly put people at ease. This not only brought her closer to Elton, known for his humor and sincerity, but also created a bridge of empathy between them. John later said that Diana had the ability to talk to anyone and make them feel special, something he deeply admired, especially since she came from a royal background often surrounded by sophisticated rituals and ceremony. Though both were public figures under intense scrutiny, Diana and Elton found deep understanding and empathy in one another. They shared a sense of loneliness under the overwhelming attention of the media and the public, and their relationship quickly became a lasting and profound friendship. Princess Diana's trials and her deep connection with Elton. Their bond strengthened significantly after that first encounter at Prince Andrew's party in 1981, growing through shared empathy and mutual understanding. In the early 1980s, Diana's marriage to Prince Charles began to show signs of strain. It was clear she was struggling with royal life. Elton sensed that behind her public image was someone who felt isolated and unhappy. Her introduction to royal life had been challenging. She was only 20 at the time, and the intense media attention coupled with the rigid demands of royal protocol caused immense stress. Even during their honeymoon, Diana felt a certain emotional distance from Charles. In conversations with Elton John, She confided in him about her feelings of loneliness and disconnection, especially as she noticed Charles's affections seemed divided. Their different personalities and priorities also added tension. While Diana embraced her role as the people's princess and showed warmth and compassion, Charles often focused on duties and interests like architecture and environmental causes. Diana told Elton this difference in approach created friction. She was deeply passionate about personal connections, often engaging directly with children, AIDS patients, and marginalized individuals. Elton later said she had a gift for making everyone feel special. However, this natural affinity for public engagement was sometimes seen as overshadowing Charles, causing additional tension. She felt that her popularity sparked jealousy and widened the emotional gap between her and Charles. One of the most painful aspects of their marriage was Charles's long-standing relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles, which began in the early 1970s and continued after his marriage to Diana. The press, family members, and Diana herself were all aware of this connection. Diana often told Elton she felt like she was in a marriage of three. In her famous interview with Martin Bashir, she said, "There were three of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." She shared with John her feelings of betrayal and frustration, especially because she believed Charles and Camilla's relationship went beyond friendship. By 1986, as the marriage was falling apart, Charles sank into depression. Concerned friends privately contacted Camilla, urging her to reach out to him. She did, and their love rekindled. That year, Charles and Diana began living separate lives. Around the same time, Diana developed a romantic relationship with James Hewitt, a former cavalry officer hired to teach her horseback riding. She later described Hewitt as an emotional support during a time when she felt isolated within the royal family. Their relationship lasted several years but ended in the early 1990s. When their affair became public, it added even more pressure to Diana's already intense public and private life. Hewitt later collaborated with author Anna Pasternak to write a revealing book about their relationship titled Princess in Love. The book briefly made Hewitt famous in the UK, but not in the way he hoped. Capitalizing on his intimate relationship with Diana was seen as a major betrayal. Diana admitted the affair and Hewitt's actions were devastating. "Yes, I admired him, yes, I loved him, but I was very disappointed." The separation between Diana and Charles was officially announced in December 1992. Both had separate relationships, Charles with Camilla, and Diana with individuals like James Hewitt. In recorded conversations with biographer Andrew Morton, Diana revealed that Charles's lack of affection and their incompatible priorities left her feeling empty and wounded. Though they remained legally married, Diana's role in the royal family became increasingly limited. Her relationship with the institution of the monarchy was also strained. The royal family expected her to strictly follow its traditional values and behaviors, which she found emotionally damaging. Her modern approach, which included openness with the public and a focus on humanitarian causes, clashed with the formality of the royal family. She told Elton she often felt misunderstood by senior family members, who saw her emotional openness as a breach of royal protocol. It said Diana felt particularly distant from the Queen, who valued restraint and duty over emotional expression. The Queen and other prominent royals were uncomfortable with Diana's willingness to discuss her struggles publicly. This divide added to Diana's sense of isolation. In her early years of marriage, she had few friends within royal circles. The intense media scrutiny only worsened her loneliness. Elton John was one of the few people Diana could confide in during these difficult times. She admitted to him that constantly being in the spotlight made her feel exposed, every gesture, outfit, and expression scrutinized by the press. This heightened her feelings of inadequacy, especially under the pressure to meet royal standards of decorum and appearance. Her emotional turmoil was intensified by her ongoing battle with bulimia. Diana later revealed that her eating disorder began shortly after her engagement to Charles and persisted through the early years of their marriage. She explained to Elton that bulimia became a coping mechanism, a way to feel in control in a life where she often felt powerless. In the 1995 BBC interview, she openly acknowledged her struggles, saying, "I had bulimia for several years, and it's like a secret disease you inflict on yourself because your self-esteem is at rock bottom and you don't think you're worthy or valuable. Elton John and Princess Diana. A friendship forged by compassion and shared struggles. Diana's empathy for Elton John during his battles with addiction was a significant aspect of their friendship. She had a unique ability to connect deeply with others. Elton, who struggled with drug and alcohol addiction through much of the 1990s, found in her a friend who listened without judgment and offered true compassion. He has openly shared that, at his lowest moments, he used a lot of drugs and drank excessively, a combination that affected both his mental health and personal life. He often described himself during that period as out of control. When he met Diana, he was already feeling the devastating effects of addiction. Diana's support was especially meaningful to Elton, who at the time didn't know how to manage his life or career. She listened, gave advice, and encouraged him to face his addiction. According to Elton, she played a crucial role in his decision to seek treatment. She encouraged me to stop running from my problems and face them head-on, he said in an interview. She reminded him that his value wasn't in his fame or public persona, but in the person he was deep inside. In 1990, Elton entered rehab to address his addiction. Diana's unwavering belief in his ability to recover helped him find the strength to confront his demons. Their friendship became a source of strength for both of them during difficult times in their lives, allowing them to heal one another through their powerful bond.